Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to the Christopher Mark Show. I have the privilege of meeting this. You know what? It's very like he does so much, so many things, and so much beautiful things for good people, and he just does amazing work. Nikki, can you tell everybody your full name and what you do?
Sure. My name is Nikki Reinhold. Right now, I am a children's author. My new book is called My Little Me, and it's a book about neurodivergence and just being different in general.
Okay. So when you can you explain to the audience like in depth what does that actually mean so they kind of can get a visual of what you're saying.
Sure. So neurodivergence, specifically like autism, ADHD, OCD, but just neurodivergence is just a different way of thinking. So people who are neurodivergent tend to kind of go through life feeling different, and those are like the themes that the book touches on.
Okay, okay. So what inspired you to write the book? Like what was the thing that motivated you to get started with that?
Well, I've been neurodivergent all my life,
Okay.
of
Okay.
course. So
Okay.
for 32 years, and I have been a parent for 8 years. And my daughter, she's amazing, so special, and I see a lot of myself in her, and a lot of the things that I felt made me feel different. I see in her, and
Mhm.
I can relate, and I like to kind of give her the opportunity to not feel alone like I did.
Right.
So to feel heard and seen, as well as anyone else out there that feels different, giving them the opportunity to not feel alone.
Do you find that like in your experience that there were a lot of people who felt that way that you came across who probably felt alone or felt like so misunderstood when it came to this?
So many, and
Okay.
it's shocking because growing up the way that I did, and the feelings that I felt of kind of like isolation from my peers. Um, I was shocked to find that there are so many people that feel that way. And there are some people that read my book and they'll say, "Oh, like I go through that. Do you think that I'm neurodivergent?" And it's one of those things where it's like you are your best personal like advocate, like healthcare advocate, mental health advocate.
Yeah.
So you might be neurodivergent, but really it's you want to ask yourself if there's anything that I'm feeling, like intense anxiety, intense depression, that would make me want to look into this more, and see if there are things that I can do to kind of like mitigate those feelings and those you know big emotions.
What would you recommend? Like, so say for example, someone is dealing with that. Uh, so I know you mentioned a few key things, but can you expound upon some of the things that they should look for if that's something that they're struggling with or dealing with at the moment right now?
The biggest thing that helped me was just finding the community in general, and
Okay.
knowing that I'm not alone, and kind of just being able to connect with people. And the same thing with being a neurodivergent parent.
Hmm.
Connecting with other neurodivergent parents has been a blessing because they're able to provide me with so much wisdom and just so many things that I wouldn't have thought to do. And it kind of goes both ways because I'm also able to provide them with tips and things that they weren't able to do. So just like that connection has really helped me. But I mean, there's tons of literature. Talking with just a healthcare professional might be the route, but for others, just being able to research on your own and learn techniques like meditation. Meditation helps me because I suffer from intense anxiety.
Right.
Um, I was fortunate enough to have some free time a couple years ago, and I got certified in hypnotherapy.
Mm.
And that's also something that I found that like meditation, not only does it help me, but it also helps me help others.
Right, right. Have you and expounding upon the hypnotherapy, like what what was the process of getting started with that, and then also what are some experience where that you took where it was like, okay, I love this. I love the effect that I'm having on people by doing this.
So with hypnotherapy, it came in a time in my life where I wasn't really sure where I was going. I was very unhappy in the job that I had. I was suffering from a lot of huge emotions. I was very depressed. I was very anxious every single day. So I was just in the process of looking for things that could potentially help me. And I came across hypnotherapy, and I said, like, not only do I want to experience it, I want to learn how to do it. I want to know what goes on, in your brain when you're being hypnotized, and I want to know how I can use that like in my day-to-day life. So I found there was a place online. I'm not sure if it's still around, because I know when I took the course, they were kind of on the way of like saying like the next year or two, we might be shutting the door. But it was called the Transpersonal Hypnotherapy Institute.
Mm,
Um, it was about a 6-month course, and I mean, I learned a lot, and I was able to take that knowledge, and I kind of opened it up to friends and family, letting them know like, hey, I'm doing this. Is there something that I could possibly help you with? Like, do you want to quit a bad habit? Do you want to maybe start like enforcing positive thoughts? And there was a couple friends that took me up on it. I even practiced on my fiance. Unfortunately, she was not very susceptible to hypnosis,
hmm.
but my other friends were very susceptible.
So, what is it that makes a person non-susceptible?
Um, I
Have you
for
found that what was it?
One thing that with my fiance is that she has a condition that doesn't allow her to visualize things in her head. She
Okay.
can, so like, she can hear her own voice in her head. She can have thoughts. She can, like, figure things out. Like she's a smart person, but she's not able. Like, if you tell her to think of a beach, she she can think of the word beach, but she can't visualize an actual beach.
Okay. Okay.
And it's an actual condition. I forget what it's called, and a lot of people actually have that. And some people are shocked. Like, she was shocked when she learned that other people can actually see things in their head. Like, she was like, "That's real."
Wow. So are you? So when you started getting into this, did you find that, okay, this is the thing that's going to help me to heal, like not only other people but also heal myself?
Yes, absolutely. That
Okay.
was like when I say finding out that you have superpowers. It's like one of the most like profound things, and I feel like when you find things like that, uh, it's pointing you in the right direction of like, this is very good for you.
Right.
I met Billy West. Are you familiar with him? He's a voice actor. He does like the voice of Fry from Futurama.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I've heard of his name before, but I haven't seen like I've watched the show. I never, like, you know how like
Hmm.
you're watching the show for a long period of time and then you
You,
don't associate the voice with the person.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he's done everything. He was Bugs Bunny in Space Jam.
Oh wow.
But I met him and at a like an autograph signing, and he took so much time with me. He like spent like an extra 5 minutes with me because we had like this connection where like somehow it came up that like I have autism and he has autism, and then he was talking about finding out that he could do those voices one day. He just found out that he could do Bugs Bunny. He found out that he could do Porky Pig. He just found out that he had a knack for this. and he said it was like waking up and finding out that you could just turn invisible, that you had found your superpower one day. And so with things like hypnotism and writing this book and just like all the positive energy that's come out of that, finding your superpowers is amazing. And I suggest anyone, if you have something you want to do, like follow that and find your superpower, because it is the best feeling.
Yeah, I think that was I was watching this video the other day about this gentleman, and he was saying that he was talking about, when it comes to finding your gift and what you're good at, it's specifically designed for you. Like all is based upon like all your experiences, all of the ups, the downs, the goods and the bad that came with you being who you are, and that's really what allows for you to be able to do it. So, but the thing about it is that like he was saying how that most people who wind up, maybe they become successful as a result of finding this gift, but then they start to lose money because they want to do other things. And the guy said, listen, like, most people, the first mistake that they usually make is thinking like, I can go do anything. And it's like sometimes you can go and try those things, but it might not be the thing that gives you fulfillment.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. It's like whatever gives you that fulfillment, that's your gift. That's the thing that no one can really like take away from you, because it's uniquely for, designed specifically for you to do and bring to the table, and within the world of being around people and dealing with other people as well.
Absolutely. And I hate to equate life to gambling, but I mean, life kind of is gambling, like just in general.
Yeah.
But it's like blackjack, and I feel like some people, they're given a card, they're given 3, and they never say hit. They just stay. They just stay at 3, and they just remain at 3 all of their lives. And then other people go through everything, and they get up to 21 and they're still saying hit.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely. If you don't feel satisfied in like what you're doing, you should definitely follow your passion, find your superpowers, find the things that make you feel fulfilled.
So you, I can see that you have all this anime in the back and your music and stuff like that. I know me and you talked about this, but can you tell everybody else about your other hidden talents that you have as well?
Oh, sure.
Oh, sure. I got the whole list right here.
Yeah, why not? So I've been playing guitar since I was 13. I really got into guitar because I really like the singer-songwriter type people. And I mean, I can name off like, 20, 30, everyone knows Bob Dylan. But I was listening to a guy named Joe Jack Talcum, and he has a nasally voice like I do.
Mm-hmm.
So like he kind of inspired me, like just because you don't sound traditional, you can still write songs and you can still sing those songs.
Right.
So I got into playing guitar and writing songs. I play ukulele. There's one in the corner. I do keyboards. But yeah, I consider myself, more than anything, a songwriter. I just enjoy the process of, making the lyrics and then adding, the music. Recently, I kind of just got into electronic music because I can just do all of that on the keyboard and just kind of feel it out, whatever mood I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
And I've kind of fallen out of love with my voice again. There was a time where I was like, yeah, I'm going to make it happen with what I got. And now I'm kind of, I'm more like, well, maybe I can write music for other people.
Right. It's funny how that happens. It's like right now I'm actually working on an album for myself and putting it together and stuff like that. And I sing as well, but when you're really able to do a lot of different things, you start thinking to yourself, it's like, am I really that good, or do I really need to do this? And then you sing in front of someone, and someone's like, oh my god, why didn't you tell me you could do that? Like, yeah, I totally understand it. It's I think it's kind of like that full circle thing. It's like, you know, you realize you start somewhere at a certain point, and then you start realizing, hey, you know what, maybe I can come back to this and do this another time. Maybe, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Do you so now when it comes down to everything that you do as a whole, like what is your ultimate goal when it comes to your vision with all the talents that you have and writing your book and everything like that? Like what is the message that you want people to take away from everything that you do?
So right now, my goal is to keep on writing books. I have another book in mind, again about neurodivergence. Um, I'm really looking forward to getting that book out there, and I think it's going to be for like a wider market,
Okay.
because it's also about cryptids, and I kids love monsters.
Right. Yeah, you do.
um,
They do. Trust me.
but yeah, so I really want to keep pursuing being a children's author, read to kids, go to schools, get my books into the hands of kids and parents. I also want to explore other things that like on my bucket list, because um, I, I I know we had a talk before about my grandfather used to say I'd make a good pie taster. And I
Right.
thought that was an actual job. Like I could go out into this world and become a pie taster one day, and then you find out later, no, there's no pie taster job.
Yeah.
But being a children's author was definitely like my pie taster job. Like if finding the next best thing, like this is something I love to do. But there's other things I'd really like to do. I'd love to be a voice actor. I just want to kind of dip my toes into that. I'd love to try stand-up comedy, because I love comedy so much, and comedy has been something that's really helped me in tough times in my life, and something that I feel a really big connection with, and I'd love to put more laughter out into this world.
Yeah.
So there's other things that I definitely want to do, but right now my main focus is writing for kids, and just making more positivity.
That's so beautiful, because I think that's the most people, you know, they're usually trying to find their voice in what they love to do, but they you know, you get scared, you get nervous, you get afraid, because it's just like, you know, oh well, who's gonna listen to this, or who's gonna do that, and you know what I mean? And like, but once you start realizing, like, you know what, I can do it. Like, who's you know, who's here to stop me, really? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when you're using what you do as a therapeutic outlet of not only for yourself but for other people as well. So let me ask you this: so when it comes down to everything that you're going to be doing, as far as comedy, as far as the books, as far as everything else, is there, like, if you had to give advice to someone who was trying to do those things, what would be your advice?
My advice would be to just go for it, because
Just go for it.
um, this was a thing on my bucket list, being a children's author, and when creativity, when ideas come to you, sometimes it's easy to shoot them down. Sometimes it's easy to feel worthless. Sometimes it's easy to just say, I'm not good at that. I wouldn't be good. Like I want to do it. I want to pick up a pencil and learn how to draw, but I'm terrible at it. I'm awful. It's easy to put yourself down, but if you don't give up, if you go forward, you're going to find a lot of people out there really dig what you do. And I mean, there's really, something for everyone. Some people say, a butt for every seat.
Yeah.
There's definitely someone out there that's going to dig your drawings. There's definitely someone out there that's going to love that song you put out. So, just go for it. Put it out into this world. See what happens. Get it to people. You have to get it to people, because if you just make something and sit on it, you're not going to get that positivity. You're not going to get people coming to you saying, I like what you got. So yeah, definitely make it and get it out there.
Wow. Yeah, I think I'm glad people can hear that from you, because I think at the end of the day, most people, even for me, and I can tell you, like, I have those moments where it's like, maybe, but like once you start realizing, like, you know what, like, how are people going to know? How are they going to know, like, what am I able to do? What am I able to bring to the table? How am I able to help other people? Like, they're not going to know unless you just, open yourself up, or like you say, just go for it. So Nikki, how can people find you? Like, what do you have, a website? Do you have social media, anything like that that people can connect with you through?
Yeah. So my book was put up on Kickstarter, where it reached its goal. So it's already funded. That part's over. But you can still find it on Kickstarter. You can follow it, and I'm still providing updates. So you'll be able to hear about my next book via that Kickstarter. But you can also follow me on X, or formerly known as Twitter.
The Twitter, yeah.
Yeah, my handle is My Little Me Book. So you can find me there. And again, that's just kind of my hub for, my author profile. So again, you're going to hear about any new projects on that Twitter.
Gotcha. Awesome. And then let you guys know, so we're going to be creating Nikki a profile, part of the Dreamer Society, so you can connect with him through that as well. And yeah, Nikki, do you have anything you want to tell anyone before we wrap this up? You want to do any shout outs to anybody or anything like that?
So, my book, it's a celebration of being different. So anyone out there, if you've ever felt different, you're not alone. There's people that love you. There's communities out there. I love you. So that's it.
Man, this is awesome, man. Nikki, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Talk to you soon. Peace.